mostly tailored towards dealing with the IO Tiny? What is a hero that they would not be able to deal with?
I think
They don't have that much lockdown.
Well, I mean, the X-Bar can have like is nice, but you're right. Maybe something else with further control could do something. I'm trying to think how they are going to lineage, because what you imagine is going to be Limp's Tiny.
Yeah.
And then obviously with the IO, it's looking to be the Jikiro core, which will, I don't know where they'll send that. I don't know if they'll do it Chessie, because he has played it in the past for Colin. They look towards Moose hero. Obviously with the bans from DC, I mean, again, the Timbersaw could be played by both sides on both players on both lanes. So they do have that flexibility still with the Jikiro, where that's going to sit in and which lanes they're going to look to try and get these favorable matchups.
Ooh, an axe.
Okay. So it almost certainly what will be Chessie playing the Jikiro, Moo playing the axe. Indeed it is. So it is this Chessie Jikiro that we know they love. Looks like they will sell for Mason Medusa and quite for Storm. But it is going to be very interesting to see how that mid lane plays out, and how they do make sure that Quafer doesn't get absolutely destroyed by Limp and Z-Freak. There's going to have to be some heavy camping mid from either Bulba or Jimmy.
Yep.
By the way, IO level 15, going to be super hyped. Kunga getting that bow upgrade, Chessie getting that Jakiro ult upgrade, and same thing with the axe. I'm not sure how much time we're going to see.
It'd be interesting because I've heard a lot of people are saying that as cool as that sounds, apparently the 90 damage on the spirits, which is the alternate one, is like that is really good as well. So everyone sort of goes to. I would love to see the axe one, as that's much more entertaining.
Yeah, sure. I want to see when axe dunks somebody, all the battle hunger comes out.
Spread out. I'd love to see it. I want to see if he does it, but I think he might go for the spirit damage from what.
Lumi.
Complexity, they run the best IO Tiny dual lane.
I got to go complexity as well. I think
complexity as well. With that said, the game's on the way over to Capitalist and Grant.
Oh, hey there, Capitalist.
Hey,
how's it going?
It's going good. How are you, Grant?
I'm pretty good. Just casting some NA Dota. I mean, Complexity wins this. We could have EG Colgan. DC takes us to a game 3. What's hyper than a game 3 besides a game 5?
At game 7.
Oh my goodness. Fable best of 7 in Dota that we saw one time in Chinese Dota where they took a lunch break halfway through. That was great.
Oh, that hour-long break was actually the most anti-hype thing ever.
IO Tiny, they said. Is this the game changer? Will Cole win?
I thought that DC's lineup was perfectly fine against Complexity. I was actually okay with giving up the Tiny Wisp, being Cole, the best in the business with it, because they got Beastmaster and then the Dusa. I think the Dusa was a really good answer to the Tiny Wisp. But then they did this safe lane Storm that's now turned into mid-Storm. Okay, okay. Sorry. So it's going to be a safe lane Dusa who's actually in the off lane, right? So does that make me feel any different?
I mean, you said just overall Storm Medusa very greedy. And then Complexity on the other side is the least greedy team I've ever seen.
It's super hard to see how both Storm Spirit and Dusa are going to be able to get the farm that they need to stop the, like, I would say 20 to 30 minute window where Complexity is going to be super strong and running over heroes. That being said, the more I looked at the Storm Spirit, the more I felt that it was going to be a pretty good Storm game, just simply because of the fact that Complexity really didn't have the disables to be able to deal with Storm Spirit very well. Pretty much all came down to the Tiny. And the last pick was always going to be, I think, or at least I thought it was going to be a hero that was going to not add a whole lot to being able to shut down the Storm. They ended up getting the Axe, which is obviously a nice blink disabler. Does give you something extra against the Storm Spirit.
But they do just have a Tiny for physical damage, right? I mean, IO Tiny obviously is quite a bit. Do you think it'll be in? I mean,
it's gonna
when
be
does
tough.
Cole want to end this game by? Like, right there, they're on the timer if anyone is.
I would say like 45, 50 minutes. That may sound a little late, but what I anticipate is the Complexity. More than anything, I think their timing of taking tier 2s is more important. They need to be able to take out almost all the tier 2s in the game by like 25 minutes, I would say, and start really controlling the map very well. Build an advantage, because pushing for high ground is going to be very difficult with only the Tiny to be able to do it for you. And you've got Wyvern, Beastmaster, I would say even Clock, and the biggest one is Dusa. I would say 4 of those heroes are very good at being able to defend high ground against heroes that are looking to siege. And then Storm Spirit is obviously most dangerous when you're closest to his base.
And talking about greedy, both cores get runes on DC, and both supports actually get the runes on Complexity, which is pretty rare. I mean, IO getting a rune, okay, that's to be said, but Kyle taking a rune as well. Interesting. And top lane, we see Moo. I mean, he's not going to die, but he will get harassed heavily. Arctic Burn, one of the best level 1 skills, especially from like a 5 support in the game.
I was with Lumi. I thought it was going to be the Dusa mid against the Tiny Wisp because I thought that would have been better for...
That snake's super good.
Yeah, super good against any sort of melee hero, even better against dual lanes.
Maybe Medusa's just not a Quakeva hero and they just didn't feel comfortable like switching up heroes or lanes like that, I guess. But it will be aggro up there, so it's going to be an MSS Beastmaster versus a Chessie 1v1 solo. And whoa, there we go. And he's actually going to toss Storm back. They're going to go forward. He goes to a creep. Unfortunately, will Quakeva go down or will Limp? It looks like someone's going down, and it more than likely is going to be Limp. It is. Kyle has the torrent. Unfortunately, it is on cooldown. He missed the first one. Z-Freak's trying to right-click Quakeva down. Will it work? He's
nice turn, Quakeva.
Goodness, and he doesn't get it, though. And it's going to be a possible 3-for-0 trade. No, Kyle. Woo. Bulba, man down. Oh, wait up. He gets him. Demon with the snipe double kill. And that's a 3-0 trade early.
Jimmy's like, don't worry about it, Bulba. You may kick. It's no hard feelings, though. I'll cover up for your mistake.
I got the kill. Look at this. Bulba is so... I love how quick he rotates top to steal that rune from the axe.
Yep. No one can challenge... There are very few heroes that can stand toe-to-toe with the Clockwork, and in this game, no one is going to be able to challenge Clockwork for runes. So that was... What play, though, from Bulba coming in initially with the cogs. That was so good. They recognize that they really have to help out that middle lane, and they can leave Mason alone, obviously, anytime they want. So they can double rotate on mid constantly. I would even say a rotation to bottom lane is going to be in the future here for DC. Pretty much anything but top. They just don't really need to mess around with this lane too much.
But we see Limp is still quite a little bit higher level than Quake, but even after that 3-0 Z-Freak level 2, he still has to be careful. If you get tossed back again, now that he's getting higher levels, it can be much deadlier. And Moo, a little pushed out. All right, he'll just take the rune, go the other way. So that should be that middle lane. Arctic Burn just going to harass. And we were talking about how Mason and Arteezy play heroes very similarly. It's much different. Limp still goes the extremely heavy magic, just the 4-4 build instead of the farming build. Like, Limp and Arteezy play Tiny nothing alike, unlike the other two, which is fun. Everyone loves seeing that bottom lane. We have the torrent going on. Does Chessie have enough damage? It is the level 2 dual breath, level 1 liquid fire. He's trying to juke, uses the boar very nicely, and MSS will just get away.
Kyle has actually been relatively successful at challenging the Beastmaster, which is surprising to me. I thought Beastmaster would
middle lane, the toss to the tower again. They get the slow. Tower's going to hit one more time. Do they have the damage? Sure looks like it. What a cold embrace by Demon. They need to be careful. Limp toss him in the air. Doesn't toss him back this time. Get a square up on him, but does have the level 1 overcharge. Demon, my friend, you are out of mana. He is just manning up. Guess what? Z-Freak will take both those kills, and he is taunting on the haters.
He is just playing his little tune the whole entire time. He definitely popped that taunt intentionally the first time, right? He popped it before a kill happened.
I love it. There you go.
Well played, Z-Freak.
Oh, and look at Limp already. He tosses him back again. And there was another hero. It was actually Axe, but he just strolled on by. They are going to get the slow. If we have mana, it doesn't look like we do as the raindrop. But Quakeva, oh my. Quakeva just came back to the lane. He has a full bottle at least, as well as 2 shared tangos, but if Moo was just there accidentally, they could have gotten another kill. And instead, it's MSS, Arcane Rune, level 3 Beastman. Whoa, hey there. Kyle says hello, and he could be in a little trouble. Torrent will fly up, actually hits on the boar, so they'll just bring that down. What just happened? There's just 5 heroes mid out of nowhere now. Chessie and Kyle, looks like they're rotating lanes.
They have to get Moo out of that lane because a melee hero, especially one that doesn't have any sort of way to threaten the Dusa, is just going to be eaten alive by the snake every single time. So he's got to get away from this lane, so he just trucks himself all the way down to bottom lane, and they, in turn, are going to try and go top of the Jakiro.
And man, poor Quakeva has to go into the jungle. He's just getting dominated by these tosses middle. They had limited mana coming from the IO. You see why it's such a powerful thing. And I mean, Quakeva, they had a 3-0 start cap. Yep. But Limp was never behind.
And this is why the Storm Spirit lane is so bad. But at the same time, they're probably thinking...
Looks like Chessie is getting gone on. Bulba, though, just gets turned on. They're going to slow him down. Kyle actually going for the snipe. He fakes it out. He actually does hit it, and this should be a kill. Chessie has dual breath. Does he even need it? Liquid fire? I don't think he needed it, but he got the kill anyways, and it is now tied 3-3. Cole with Good rotation from Kyle. Pardon me, kept him mean to interrupt you so rudely.
No, absolutely not, Grant. I never want to impede your play-by-play, sir. The difference is now, like, yes, you can be followed, right? The Deuce is just going to head down to the bottom lane, but here, Moo can cut the creep wave. He couldn't do that in the situation where he's in his own safe lane. You can't cut the off-lane tower lane very easily. It just puts you into too dangerous of a spot, right? Like, you're in the middle of basically 3 towers.
Whoa.
The Shrine in Tier 1 and Tier 2.
Well, hello. And now Moo will just get both runes. And oh my, Moo was actually like 20 experience away, and the chicken flew over his head. If he had that 20 more experience, he could have dunked it. Dunk instantly killing flying couriers. But man, he just gets both runes, and this is sad. The Storm rotated all the way bottom with, at least he had boots. He's just moving. But top lane, some sort of initiations going. It's Chessie onto Bulba. Demon, though, Arctic burning above. Will they hold him in? They do. MSS here as well. Looks like they will just kill Jakiro. Look at how tanky this hero is. My God. Double torrent flies. Here's the IO. Will he actually get this save? Z-Free killing him up so much. It is the turnaround, and now Demon. Cold embraced himself. And my God, the well played from Kyle.
Grant,
Z-Freak is a god. Everyone knows it.
You asked me. You said, what's the difference, though? Why would you run Jakiro core? Like, you hated it, right? But
whoa. I didn't hate it. I was questioning what he does. I said, what does he do better? And now you missed the kill. I saw that whole thing, but you make yourself look dumb. Moo gets the kill on Koikva, but... Okay, go on. Just
okay, say this hypothetical person told me that he hates Jakiro core, and he's like,
dumb.
why wouldn't you just be like, what does it do that a support doesn't? The difference is your timings are a lot different, because as a core, your damage and your tankiness are so overwhelmingly strong.
Middle lane. Oh, he actually missed the top. Now he throws him back to Kyle. Tower will hit him once, twice, just once. Gets the X. Get a torrent him up in the air. It's a level 2 torrent, little extra damage. Limps just swing on, tosses him back again, slowed by Z-Freak, and he gets the kill. And my God, the Z-Freak Limp combo, I actually, legitimately, people used to joke about, oh, it's the best in the world.
Limp's going for another one.
And he is. Stun comes out. He has the mana again, tosses him all the way back into the torrent. Already placed, and Demon, you can survive for a tad longer, but Limp is just going to sock your face with the rocks. And Kyle scoops up that kill. My, dude, this the IO tiny, man. And just top lane, right? Chessie living, like you said, with those extra items and levels. And Z-Freak, if he can ever get there in time, you will not die. Almost dies middle, though.
Z-Freak.
Easy there, Angry Bear. He has a regen rune, though.
This is why the Deuce is supposed to be good against that lane, is that you're still susceptible to the toss back, but at least you can threaten them back with the snake really well.
And look at this. Full 2 heroes getting full off that regen rune middle, but top lane, something's going down up here. Chessie pushing a tower, level 4 liquid fire. Bulba does find Kyle. This should be a reasonably easy kill. I don't think Z-Free can fly halfway across the map this time. Kyle will go down. Chessie will just run away, but good damage on that tower. It is not deniable. But bottom lane, Koikva is level 7 now, so a lot harder to kill, but Axe has a full Vanguard. Do you think, is he going to go Blink after that? Or
yeah.
Just Vanguard and a Blink. All right.
I like what he's doing for this lane, though. He can't kill him, but he can always just keep running at Koikva.
Not let him get any farm. He might get levels, but he won't get farm.
So Koikva always has the option to go jungle, though. Just like he did with the mid lane for a time.
Top lane, Hawk flying up there, gonna scout anything out. Bulba, still only level 4. Just rolling on up there, and 153rd pro game. Crazy to think a lot. I wonder if half of those were in the off lane. Yeah. He loved playing there now. Mostly just playing it as a 4 roll. Crazy. All those 3 rolls just retiring to a nice life as a 4.
Yeah, it's a better place to be. The playmaking role now, where the off lane used to be. As the suicide laner, right, you didn't feel good about your laning phase, but you were always playing heroes that were the playmakers.
And now you do look at the hero levels, though, and Tiny is falling a little bit behind because he is almost always with the IO. But still doing decent on the farm, has the treads. Usually we see Treads drum in the Blink. Looks like he's just going to go Treads into Blink for that catch. And Koikva bottom. He has his ulti. Oh, if he let that call go, guess what? Kyle's here. X, Torrent brings him back and gets the call on the creeps as well. 1 spin, 2 spin, no need for a dunk. Easy kill. And man, we were talking about the 4 being the playmaker role, but Kyle has been in the right place, right time. Such good rotations from him. And they're just going to go for the tower. They skip the creeps. Chessie's like, we don't take damage. Level 4 liquid fire. He has a full veil? Sure looks like it.
Similar to game 1, though, we do need to say this is kind of pace of game that you should expect. Complexity should be ahead. They're going to take a lot of early hero kills. They're going to take a lot of towers, especially in the next 10 minutes. I would say, you know, we said, what, 25 minutes? We should take all the tier 2s for Complexity. DC have not done that badly when it comes to farm in the laning phase. Even if they've been clowned on repeatedly by mid, they have gotten all the farm that they kind of need.
Oh, look at this smoke middle, but Kyle, he's here. He actually... They have a roar. They have book 1. He actually tossed the creep back, and they get the raw on IO. He should go down. Mason right-clicks him. Nice torrent hits up too. But nice gank coming in. And Tiny just runs away. X marks the spot. He's going to fly on Mason. He does not have enough for Torrent. Well, he has Magic Wand. There we go. Moo gets in. He gets the double. Will they get enough spins? Torrent's going to fly. He can dunk him. Sure does. Now Mason losing all his mana. Kyle still here. Here comes the boat. Ahoy. But Limp running out of everything else. They're going to try to bring him down. Z-Freak plus Moo doing so much. Bulba just runs in, gets spun on 3 times. They're trying to bring Mason down. Moo has his ulti. He needs a few more attacks. Now it's Z-Freak versus Bulba. Limp has no mana to do anything. And now Storm just kiting around this axe. Arctic Burn gonna slow him so, but look who's here. Chessie on the side. Will he be able to do anything? Save him up? Will he go for the suicide? He's just going uphill. Looks like Moo will go down. Gets the call, has plenty of armor. He's still living. He's just juking and jiving. Chessie gets the kill on Demon on the back, and Bulba. Oh, he made it very
risky.
He could have hooked, got spun on, but he gets the kill. And you know, DC, they'll take that fight.
Yeah,
Medusa's
absolutely.
so tanky, man. When you don't have any physical damage on your team, you have a rough time taking down Medusa.
On top of that, he had a 17-1 stick that he was able to use there, and he used it to turn around and get a Mystic Snake off, which then hit, I think, 3, maybe 4 heroes.
Damn.
So he got a lot of mana back into himself, making him even tankier. And I love the way the DC set that up. They're like, okay, if you're this whole entire time, you're running forward, tossing this hero into the Wisp, why don't we just smoke up and position ourselves on the Wisp?
Yeah, but here we see it. It looked like Limp actually did miss his toss, which hurt him, and then they just roar him, kill him.
I mean, if anything, it would have been better for DC, right? All of a sudden, Dusa's on top of the Wisp that they're
just
ganking.
ultis on him.
Yeah.
And then right.
Oh, combo.
Here we go. Can they get him bottom? It's Storm. Do they get in time? They sure do. Instantly blown up.
Toss the dead body.
Chuck
Savage
him
Limp.
into the air. And well, top lane looks like they're going for Chessie. Chessie macro pyres to push out the wave. Smart play there, but the range creep is going to survive.
Bulba catches Chessie,
get him.
but they are going to make the rotation with a Tiny. This is going to be really bad for DC.
He does hook forward. Can they kill Chessie? So tanky with the strength. He still has stick charge as well. And guess who's here? It's Z-Freak. Limp toss him into the air. Can they get Bulba as well? Orb will scout him out. Won't stop him, unfortunately. Dire, they're scanning. They already know he TP'd out now.
They created this space, though, to be able to maybe take mid tower, which is important for Mason. They already popped TPs for top lane, and they used to relocate to head bottom, so no interference for this mid push.
They are up 2K on complexity, but Mason has only died 1 time, almost to 100 CS here. Where do you go on Medusa after the Mask of Madness? Like, a lot of other cores would go, like, say, Mant or something, but I think Mant is pretty garbage on Medusa.
Yeah, at the same time, I don't think Lincoln's is particularly strong here. It stops the X. That's about it. Maybe the Culling Blade, but
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, you're right. I mean, does he just need to go damage, or does he need to tank up?
I think Yasha is not a bad choice here. I think he needs at least that little bit of boost in damage. Maybe go the... Is Hurricane Pike good here, or maybe just Dragonlance? Just get kind of those
Looks like
smaller
that's what he is going, yeah.
those small stat items that build up your attack damage. I think is kind of the build up right now.
Comes out right, and looks like middle. They are pushing it on the Dire side. Moo is the first one to level 12. Has that level 2 clothing, but at bottom, Torrent is going to fly. They're going to fly forward, and Quakeba will find Kyle. Bo will come in, help him survive a little bit longer, and he's just going to run, bide a little bit of his time. Throws up a Torrent, stops Quakeba in his tracks. But that's that. Top lane, we see Limp with that tree, has Z-Freak right by his side.
And he's got blinks, so...
If they find, and this Storm needs to be careful.
Oh, no!
Oh no! Limp does just whiff it, and then he throws creep. Hooks onto Z-Freak. Could be in a lot of trouble here. He's just gonna die. And they got super good. They did not know Quakeba had already TP'd in there without a ward being down. Hard to know that was happening in a missed combo by Limp. And look at this. The Hawk scouts him out. Mason's here draining all of his mana. Still has 7 charges. Here comes Kunkka. And the aggressiveness by Complexity is getting matched step for step now by DC.
Pretty dangerous.
What's Bulba doing?
Jesus.
Well, MSS here with him now. He has an Alpha Wolf, actually one of the worst creeps you can probably get about this early into the game. Damage is nice, but love another lockdown. They're just sitting here. That's IO TPing in. He's ready to help Limp out. Uh-oh, they rock it. Do they know Z-Freak's here? He's coming in. Want to get the roar on Z-Freak, they do. Has the raindrop, tanks up a little bit. Mason's coming in, does he have ulti? Doesn't need it. He has the Mystic Snake, actually gets X mark back, but Z-Freak does drop already. Kyle in a lot of trouble, he will die. Boat's gonna fly in. That's that, and that's a 2-for-0 trade.
But it's also a 2-for-1 trade to the favor of Complexity. They got the mid tower as well as the bottom tier 2. And I was watching the way Moo and Chessie were playing during, because they were kind of trapped at top lane. And I said, okay, Complexity either gonna 5-man fight up here, or they're just going to go for towers, and they decided that was not a fight that they wanted to take. It's a bit too risky, so they just give up their supports. They take towers, they take objectives in return. I think that's still acceptable.
Like that?
Yeah, I think it would have been a bad idea to try and mass TP into that tier 1 tower, where you're basically trapped. You're locked underneath that tower. You're surrounded by DC members. That could be the fight that loses you the game, actually.
Oh my goodness, and they're getting a ton of damage on that tier 3. I mean, Demon can't handle this siege unit. My God. It actually, one more? Almost below 1,000, just like that, but not even doing anything. Just, like you said, good awareness by Chessie and Moo. Realizing a bad fight was about to be taken, they get out of there, get a lot of team gold, so even though their friends are dying, guess what? Have a little gold.
Oh, hey, the Jakiro core got a buff. I didn't realize this, but Kaya, you know?
Ooh.
You think about that, Kaya actually adds so much to a Jakiro.
That's gonna be... Can't wait to see all those spells just flying left and right. But it looks like a smoke comes up. He places the ward, so he sees it is being farmed. Can they get Mason here? It is level 3X actually, not even level 4, so a little less range. And IO, we haven't seen much out of him in the last, what, 5 minutes now? They just haven't been, I mean, that's the thing, right? You talked about DC, their positioning, they never really take a bad fight.
Look, Z-Freak,
they don't see it.
He knows that it's the potential for the gank.
Oh, he actually maybe blocked the hook technically, and here we go. The ulti is gonna fly from Z-Freak.
Oh!
Oh my God, he did get it. There was
no tether.
What? That was the most last
He literally
second.
popped it like the same millisecond that the relocate back went. That's how you know you're a good goddamn Wisp player.
Yep, and I love the awareness. The DC knows, they're like, all right, we could stay here, possibly kill Z-Freak. But they knew Tiny had already TP'd to, oh, maybe that ward. He TP'd to the tier 2, and they had that ward up there, probably scouted out. The Limp was coming back.
One of the things is that against the Clockwork, you do need to be really good about getting the last second jump with the relocate saves with the tether, because otherwise you're going to run into the cogs while you're trying to relocate, and the relocate is charging, and you tether into the hero, you're going to run into cogs, and it's going to stop your relocate charge.
And look at this top lane. We see the power of tree grab plus that liquid fire, and they just group up. They get the tower, and Chessie, this guy's tanky, does some damage, has a full Kaya now if he wants to purchase it. But bottom lane, Moo actually gets the jump on Quakeboy, wanted to farm. Is anyone else down here? It doesn't look like it. It's actually a Beastmaster and Clockwork, and Moo, lucky nothing else happened there. We did have a roar as well as a Centaur Conqueror ready for him.
I like this Blink Dagger choice. It's a bit of a deviation from the straight Necronomicon 3s that we've seen a lot. Necro 3 is a lot stronger, but here they need the extra initiation against Wisp.
They're going on Moon. Nice dodge by Quake, but they're going to pull him in. Still has that armor, but he gets melted by that snake. Does Mason have his ulti? Sure does. Pops it out. Boat's going to come in, hit Mason, give him all that rum. And is there going to be anything that's happening? Here comes Z-Freak as well as Limp. Limp actually tosses Bulba out. Might have tossed him to Z-Freak's demise, unfortunately. But Chessie with a huge double. And Moon pulls in. The neutrals are going to kill him, though. Or will they? Yeah, they sure will. And they're going to go for more. Can Limp get him? He doesn't have a blink because Arctic Burn chilling his bones a little bit. And that's a 2-for-2 trade, but Complexity, I'm pretty sure, is completely happy with that. They do get the Medusa. And technically, Moo did die to the neutral, so he's dead a little bit longer, but doesn't give away that gold.
No, that's perfectly fine for Complexity. Unfortunately, they didn't get the deny in the bottom tier 1 tower. That is the small upgrade for DC. The Kaya is complete, but at the same time, so is the Bloodstone for DC. So Complexity are better at fighting. They're really reaching their big window where they should be pretty much inarguably stronger when it comes to team fights. But if DC do get the right kind of initiation, or just the team fight ends up going their way somehow, they're going to get such a huge advantage out of it, because Dusa farms incredibly fast right now. Beastmaster would close in on his timing to Necro 3, and Storm would start getting Bloodstone charges. So as Cole, you have to be really careful about smoke ganks right now, and you need to make sure you get the right kind of initiation for the team fight.
And you need to make sure you have some sort of Dust or Sentry, because Z-Freak has picked up that Glimmer Cape. And that could be a very game-changing thing if no one's carrying around Dust. And now Tiny has his Echo Saber. Get a go for an Assault Cuirass. It is so fun to watch different people play different heroes. So much different than the RTZ carry Tiny. And we are going to see top lane pushed out by DC here. Limp just swinging on him. Echo Saber double tree hit. Level 14 now. 20% magic resistance. Pretty good this game.
I'm just looking at this Jakiro because he's got his level 15, so he just went the plus 40 dual breath damage, and he's got 8% out of his talent plus another 10% out of Kaya. Then on top of that, the Veil of Discord when he throws down on somebody with the magic damage.
And just got the level 4 Ice Path. 2.5 lockdown plus the axe. That Macro Pyre and dual breath are actually do so much damage if they catch more than one person.
You really could see big plays with the tether upgrade to Kunkka specifically, because he groups people up with the bow. Yeah, setting up the Ice Path Macro Pyre, that'd be huge.
Wait, they don't group up anymore. Isn't it just like 4 boats come out?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is. No, wait, isn't that a talent?
No.
It's the Ghost Ship Fleet.
Oh, is it?
25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
C-Cap. Sweet. It's great.
So wait. With
great
the axe, does
analyzation.
that mean every single one of the boats groups them up? Damn, I haven't seen that. That's sick.
My God.
He just can't escape.
All members of the poop deck, 4 ships just flying on him. And also, Limp killed Jimmy while we were having that great discussion, but that's to be expected with a Blank Dagger Tiny Echo Saber.
You think Jimmy's life is more important than our conversation, Grant?
Absolutely not. Roar is going to fly out bottom. Ton of damage going out, but Moo has a blade mill. They have to be very careful doing damage to him. Well, no, they really don't. They just killed him. Limp actually blinks forward. He gets hit by the cogs. Nicely done by Bulba. If even not intentional, Z-Freak taking a ton of damage. There's the Glimmer Cape we talked about, though. It looks like it might just be a 1 for 0 unless they find Bulba. Whoa, tree gets thrown. Guess who found him? Chessie actually does. Looks like it should be a kill. He's going to hook forward, but that's a ton of damage going, and guess what? Kyle says you're not getting out of here. X marks the spot in, but look at the rest of them. Fire, and what a bolt! Hits up to him. Can they get Quake? He's gonna try to zip away. He's taking so much damage from the Kaya, though. Dual breath will pick him off. Demon trying to walk away. Look who's here. It's the chess god, and he is dancing and doing flips here. Chessie triple kill. Veil Kaya 8% spell amp. This is the flashiest Jakiro I have seen in some time.
Dude, Koifa he couldn't enough. Like, he just had the burn on him, and he had to continually zip, but he just ran out of mana. So then he just ends up burning to death on the back lines.
Jiminy Jill. But Storm coming back in now, finds Chessie. He has the Kaya now as well, and I have heard many people talk about, you know, some stuff is strong, but Kaya on Storm Spirit, one of those things that might be better than strong, but he still lives. Chessie's so tanky.
Yeah, DC actually, I'm super impressed that they didn't continue to go for that kill, because if they would have, it would have been a terrible situation for them. They would have been caught by Moo, who's making the rotation.
Yep. And now Mason finds a double damage, almost kills Z-Freak there, but he just glimmers away. And Mason does have that Hurricane Pike like you talked about, going for the Eye of Scotty next. Little bit of damage, a lot of slow, a lot of survivability.
Grant?
Yes, sir.
Complexity looked great, but I am getting a little bit concerned for them. They just aren't running over DC as quick as I feel like they need to. And we are looking at a Dusa that's beginning to pick up speed, and a Storm Spirit with the Kaya complete, again, as you were saying, it's a huge difference playing the Storm Spirit.
And you know, there's always going to be, he's going to find an arcane room, whether you like it or not. If you're a fan of the team or not, he's going to find one, and you're going to see that hero just, if he doesn't get locked down by Moo or Chessie, he's going to run over you. But they do have a lot to lock the Storm down, like we saw last fight. That
yeah, the biggest thing is
Kyle.
Avalanche and the initiation from Axe.
Oh, here we go. Smoke gank from the Dire side. Chessie level 18 now. You don't ever think about Macro Pyre actually being a big damage source, but it more than likely is going to be their biggest one.
This is not very well hidden, this smoke rotation from Complexity. It's, I guess, a little bit better with Jesse showing mid, but with bottom lane push, with mid pushing in from DC, the big push that was coming in, there's not a whole lot of heroes showing on the map. You can see that's exactly why they smoke behind the Dusa push, expecting a rotation from Cole.
Ooh, and they were maybe just waiting Tiny to finish his assault cares. And there we go, Moo's blinging in, gets him that blade mill. Chessie is gonna log down, Boat's coming in. He's taking so much damage. Limp on the other side kills the Winter Wyvern. Mason does somehow get the tower. They're trying to get him, he gets his ulti out. Bulba gets him in, cogs them all. Quoikfa on the backside just zipping around. He's gonna kill Z-Freak, doesn't have the Glimmer Cape. He's still not dead actually. Now he goes for it, finally picks him off. And it's a 1-for-1 trade right now. Moo gets Battle Hunger off. See you later, MSS. And now Quoikva, he gets sent back. Guess what? X into Ice Path. A true combo, my friend.
You know how crazy that is that they initiated on the Dusa? It's like the worst situation that Complexity put themselves in. They called a Dusa, doesn't do anything, but it's the initiating lockdown on the Deuce that leads into a macro pyre that was so much damage.
Yep.
That the Dusa, who's supposed to be like the tankiest hero right now in the game, tankiest hero by far out of the whole entire game. If you look at the spike that Deuces get at this time, 1500 HP combined with the large mana pool, like this hero is monstrous, but they had the big macro pyre over the top and locked the hero down, follow up with the ghost ship. That Dusa, they just need more force staffs from DC.
Chessie gets the gold per minute, has a full Shiva's guard now. This guy's a beast. This guy is a beast on that hero. But still, like you said, a ticking time bomb possibly with this Medusa. We did see her survive that fight, had to sacrifice a lot of her team, but the more farms she get.
They gotta get Scotty in level 20. That's the time that Dusa comes online the most, I would feel. It's one of the bigger peaks because you get the 800 mana, huge increase in tankiness, and then your Scotty makes you a lot more relevant in team fights.
And he's only about 300, 400 off of Scotty, so he will have it for that next fight. Well, I say that, and then I see the 3 smoked up with an IO Tiny pushing. This fight might start early. Oh, okay, not going to be much of a fight. It's going to be Bulba getting handled by the smoke gank of Cole.
He tanks this.
Pretty good farm of cogs, get that extra gold.
But this beats the Complexity taking Roshan, and Aegis, best way for Limp to be able to hit that tier 3.
And I love it. They realize they're going to need a little bit of help late game if they don't destroy buildings. So Tiny is going to go for that butterfly. With the Echo Saber tree grab, those towers are going to just disappear.
Yeah, they are.
But we do see, I think DC more than likely knows what's up with Roshan getting taken, so they just decide to split push out mid and bottom. But Z-Freak does a nice job of pushing out middle himself by the solo IO.
Yeah, I think maybe I underestimated how well Cole continues to scale in this 30-35 minute area just because the Chikiro does so much damage.
He does. Well, no, you said the game would end in like 40 to 50 minutes, and it's if Cole has their way.
Yeah, I guess it was just surprising me watching the Dusa and how quickly she ticked down from the macro pyre with this much magic amp on him.
Extra dual breath damage as well on that talent, like you said. Ton. Oh my, highest level Jakira's been 27-minute mark. Was Mason actually, so you know, breaking records and breaking his hopes of going further in this major maybe. And there we go, they push forward. He doesn't even need it. Oh my goodness, he tosses Mason back, and here we go again. They're going him. They get the call. Will they be able to get him? Boat flies in, so much damage, but he's taken up. Can he get his ulti off? He loses all his mana. He can't. Nice 4-step away. Limp is actually going down. Guess what? He has the Aegis though, and Z-Freak says, "You're not losing that Aegis on my watch." Torrent comes out, hits on 2 of them. Mason. Oh no, that's a lot of damage. Glimmer Cape comes out, but Mason goes down. Toss back Bulba. He dies. The only person that looks like they're trying to bring down, that would be a nice kill for him. Z-Freak's here, still healing up limb. Hurls a tree at Quoikva's face. Z-Freak. Oh my goodness, what a play tossed into call. Complexity's team fight, it might be too good. Just their coordination, communication, all of the C's.
And look, they're just going to heal up so quickly with the X send back.
And he gave his bottle to him.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my, wait.
No, Chessie.
Oh, now he got it. Okay, that seemed a little long, but there we go. Wait, he blinked to get a tree and he realized it was off cooldown, but there we go. They're going to try to bring down tower, and Mason, like you said, just the ticking damage from Chessie as well as the Torrent. My God, it feels like Medusa's not even taking it. Look who they found. Limp, the king of finding these tossbacks. And Moo actually dunks a creep, so they get that extra attack speed. I like it.
I think this was a tremendous error in hindsight. Going for, I understand why he went for Spirit Vessel, like great item versus the Tiny Wisp, prevent the healing and such. But these force staffs are really important to get the Dusa out of the macro pyre and then the boat as well.
Oh, and they're going on Mason again, Cap. Oh my, what? Hello?
Nice
Mason has no HP, and they're going for Z-Freak again. Koikva wants to bring him down. They're trying to limp on the backside. He's tossing people back into the ice path, and they're going to find two of them. Do they have enough damage? They sure do. Chessie is just going bonkers. Will he find MSS as well? Limp will get the kill, but what can they do besides buy back? Mason has a Scotty, so he didn't lose much gold, but he just died twice in a row. Oh my goodness. And Limp,
shield on?
No, he had it on, I'm pretty sure. He maybe not, but they just do a ton of, and look at right now, Storm's in a lot of, my God, he just drops. That was a buyback. We might be seeing the G's dropped here. Boba as well getting chased down now by Moo. He still has 4-step plus that. Uh-oh, Io does get Winter Wyvern ulted, but it was only him over there, and there goes Demon. What, just like that. 1-2 team fights in the base, and complexity. What a freaking scary team, man.
Yeah, DC letting them have the most comfort of comfort.
This is more comfortable than the lazy boy for them. It really is.
Yeah.
Like, not the leather ones either, where like you're sitting naked and your ass gets stuck to the chair.
Yeah, you get all sweaty and stuff.
Yeah, I hate that.
You don't want that.
And there we go. They're not getting a good game out. This is the end of their run if they do, so they're gonna at least fight till the end. They have a Medusa. You got that 1% chance of killing Megas. They haven't even got Megas yet, pardon me. Mason just right-clicking them. Now they have the Megas. No, they don't. Is middle? No? No, now they do. Pardon me. Kyle will be going down here, but the 32-30 creeps will spawn as those big boys. MSS was trying to split push top, didn't get anything done, and look who's coming. Nope. Good game, good job called. And wow.
They didn't want to call it earlier, but they call it now.
I really don't know. I mean, I know what to say. I mean, complexity, and just like you said, 32 minutes. It felt like Medusa was getting farm, and then just out of nowhere, they just get a bunch of pickoffs. Chessie, by far, I have never seen that much farm on a young man on that Jakiro. Actually, less farm than Tiny, but more levels, more everything.
You know what complexity was always